I'm trying to record, sorry. So we'll take it one step at a time. So if you're best, don't worry, we'll give you what you need to do. We'll explain to you, and I'm sure the person who invited you will take the walk with you, and I'll show you what an obese person is. But being obese can cause a lot of issues in your body. And if you keep adding weight, I'll tell you, it's easier to add weight than to lose weight. If I've done this experiment before, and I added there's a point where I added 3 kilos in a month, and it was very hard. I lost like 1 kilo in a month. So it's easy to add a kilo than to lose it. So please do not be in the habit where you add a kilo, and you're just like, it's just a little bit of kilos. The moment you get where you're obese, it becomes very hard for you to lose weight. Why? You become lazy. You start having breathing problems. Yani, you don't want even to run. You're having snoring issues. You keep sweating a lot. You don't overexert your body because you're already getting lazy. So many issues start adapting in you, and this starts when you're overweight. It doesn't start when you're obese. These issues start when you're overweight, and it continues getting worse when you get obese. So the bad thing about this is that kids, we also see our children developing such issues, which is very dangerous, because as a parent, if you see your child is gaining weight, please walk the journey with them. I'm not saying umkazie maisha, but let the child eat more vegetables, because this is something that will affect them in the long run and give them a lot of complications. So as you can see from my picture, someone who's overweight or obesity has so much body fat. I'm telling you, body fat is bad. I don't know if you guys understand. There was a video I was watching where a doctor was doing a surgery on a fat person, and they said the only way I'm able to do this is because this guy is dead. The person had died, but that person was so fat, he had so much gut he has so much fat in his gut, and you couldn't tell. He wasn't that big. It was a man, but he had a big gut, and the layers and layers of fat that were there were so many, so many. Yani, the doctor just kept cutting and showing. He kept showing us the layers and layers of fat. So please, I want you to understand how having so much body fat is dangerous. Some people cannot even be done for surgeries because of being fat. The doctor tells you, go lose weight first and then come back, because of the layers of fat. So this is a very serious matter, and please do not let your children fall into the habit, and yourself, mjipende. So let's talk about it. How do people end up gaining weight? One is culture. In Kenya, our culture is eating a lot of meat. In Kenya, our culture is eating so much proteins and very little fruits and vegetables. And we lie in the protein culture of animal protein rather than fruits and vegetables. So another thing is environment. We're exposed in an environment where things are changing. And nowadays, what is readily available is the one of the most unhealthy things. You look at when you go to the supermarket, to the shop, what are young people taking? Indomie. Indomie is not good for your body. Spaghetti is quite affordable nowadays. The things that are affordable are what are not good for us. Sorry. The other thing is exercise habits. We're in an era where once you're out of high school, once you're done, actually, you know what? It's funny how I had my friends. You know, we usually discuss this with friends. You try to reminisce on those times when you were in high school, and it's quite a shame to hear that some schools, especially private schools, do not have cross country. They don't have sports that really give them the, it shows you why you need to work out. I came from a public school, and cross country was monthly, and we used to run 8 kilometers. So it was no joke. So we're in a habit where even the students, even the schools themselves are not really understanding the importance of physical exercise. And we're not having exercising habits, which is very dangerous for our bodies, because if you're not mobile, mobility is quite important. If you're not mobile, your body starts showing complications in so many ways. Eating habits. We have bad eating habits. We're always going for something to make us full, not to give us nutrients. That's the notion. Niko na njaa. What does the statement mean? I'm hungry. I'm hungry means I want to eat something to jaza the tumbo, not to give me nutrients. So we end up eating things like KDF soda, white chapati, so much unhealthy things for our body. We also have genetic makeup. Some of us are already it's in our genes. You know, I usually tell people in my presentations, mutation is the cause of many lifestyle diseases. Gene mutation. You find that our family it's just full of people who have weight. It's because of the genes, it's because of the mutation. And finally, food addiction. I can tell you 80% of the young people in this world are addicted to food. And our parents are also starting to get into that habit. Food addiction is very dangerous. It's more dangerous, especially if you're addicted to sugar. And you can see that there are so many complications that come to your body when you start adding weight and become overweight. You start having heart complications. Heart diseases can even cause stroke. You start having high blood pressure, heart attack. Your first heart attack can be your last. Your first heart, I want to make that clear. Your first heart attack can be your last. It means you get your first heart attack and that's it, you're dead. You start having issues with your lungs. They're not strong, they're getting weak. Oxygen levels in your body are depleted. There are so many issues, kidney issues. Why? Because if you have issues, if you're having too much fat in your system, that means that your insulin is not working well. That also means that the excretion of waste in your body is not working well. So there's inflammation in your body. You start having issues with your knees because of too much weight that you're carrying. Your legs are aching, back pains, diabetes, cancer. Cancer can also be a cause of being obese. You get diabetes. Yani, there are so many. I can't even begin to tell you the number of issues you'll get. But I want you to go and look into this. This is very serious. As you can see that it also affects your red blood cells. Like I said, when your oxygen levels are depleted, your red blood cells are disadvantaged. And you remember red blood cells are what carries the oxygen all over the body. And if oxygen is not being evenly distributed all over the body, you start having complications. And I told you, how do you know if you're obese? It's a simple calculation. Calculate your weight in kilograms over your height in meters squared. Something you can do right now before I get to the next slide. Take out a calculator or your phone and calculate your weight over your height. If you know what your weight is and your height. If you're 18.5 and below, please, you need to add weight. And don't worry, we'll talk about it. If the doctor has told you you're underweight, we will talk about it. If you're at 18.5 to 24.9, you're okay. You're at the normal section. And I'd like to urge anyone who's below and above that, please, let's all try to get to 18.5 to 24.9. That is where you should be. And if you're anything above that, you're either overweight, obese, or extremely obese. Extremely obese are those people we see in YouTube who cannot move. I don't know if you guys watch those channels. They cannot move. They're in the bed. They eat from the bed. They cook from the bed. That is extremely obese. They can't walk. So please, let's all try to be at 18.5 to 24 now. So the question is, what can we do to maintain a healthy weight? If you're overweight and you want to lose weight, one thing you need to do, limit your portion size. That means take a smaller plate than usual. If you're used to taking a bigger plate, get a smaller plate. It's all a psychological trick. If you get a bigger plate and you serve food, you feel like there's so much space on the plate, so you keep adding food. But when you get a smaller plate, you'll find that the food that you were to eat in the bigger plate looks smaller, looks bigger than it was in the bigger plate. So limit your portion size. That's number one. I try to tell people, always measure with your fists. The hand of your fist will measure the amount of food you're supposed to take in each of them. So if it's carbohydrates, your fist, proteins, your fist, even nyama, use your fist. If it's vegetables, use when your hands are opened like this. So your fists for carbohydrates and proteins, your hands open for fruits and vegetables. That is how you limit your portion. Another thing is adding healthy snacks. If you're hungry, don't go for these KDF cakes, chips that we're used to eating. Eat popcorns. Popcorns are very healthy. They have fiber. Eat rice cake. I don't know if you guys know what rice cake is. Rice cake is a very good healthy snack. You can take njugu. Eat njugu. Take carrots. Take vegetables. Eat an apple. Eat a mango, eat an avocado, eat a healthy snack. Don't go for white chapati, brown chapati. If it's time for having a snack, go for a snack that is light and healthy. Physical activity. I want to emphasize on something. I was doing my research some time back because I also want to focus on adding muscle on the right portions of my body. And I can tell you, losing weight and adding weight takes studying. So you need to sit down even as an individual and do your own study. So when it comes to physical activity, I can only urge you, if you want to lose weight, cardio. Cardio, just do 30 minutes of cardio every day. Trust me, you will see a huge difference. If you're eating healthy and you do 30 minutes of cardio every day and you do it 3 to 5 times a week, you will see a huge difference. So I cannot begin to insist. Do high intensive training or cardio. Please, I hope you're taking notes. This is important information. Cardio and high intensive training. That is very good. 30 minutes of it for 3 to 5 times a day. 3 to 5 times a day in a week will really give you big progress. Why? Cardio burns the fat all over the body. The other thing is check your diet. I will talk about this. And I want you to focus and take your notes down. And lastly, drink water. Drinking water increases your metabolism by 10%. Increasing metabolism means it gives your body an opportunity when it's not eating. You know, there's a point when you're not eating, that's when your body is burning fat. So if you drink a lot of water, at that point, when you're not eating, your body keeps burning fat, and drinking more water increases the metabolism in which your body ends up burning fat. And when we look at people who want to add weight, I always tell people, if you want to add weight, do it the healthy way. Let no one lie to you. You need to eat unhealthy. But bodies are different. You might look small, but you might start having complications. And what is it? If you want to add weight, take lots of whole grains. Whole grains, and this actually is information for people who want to lose or add weight. Do whole grains. Whole grains are meaning replace everything in your house that is refined. Please, if you have Blue Band in your house, take it out. If you have jam, take it out. Please. If you have this thing that people like, Nutella, take it out. If you have white unga, take it out. White ugali, take it out. The list is endless. If you're taking white uji, take it out. Anything that is refined, it's not good for you. Even though you don't want to lose weight, take it out. Replace it all with something that is whole grain. We all know, I don't need to tell you, brown chapati, brown ugali. Go for oats. Go for things that are not refined. And those are the things that don't last in the shelf in the supermarket. Increase the fruits and vegetables in your house. Please, when you walk into your kitchen, the first thing you should see is the number of colors that are there in your fruits and vegetables. Green, orange, red, purple. That is what should amuse you. Different fruits and vegetables. And this is very good for you and your children. Trust me, your children's health will be better, and it will also increase their mental thinking. I tell you, a healthy diet increases the rate of thinking and the blood flow in the brain. That is why thinking becomes fast. Increase your fruits and vegetables. If you want to lose weight, fruits and vegetables, please, they will give you fiber and the nutrients you need to burn fat and even to gain weight. Just have to eat, and fruits and vegetables has the right natural fats, and natural fats are good for losing and adding weight. We also have proteins. If it's proteins, please, if you want to lose weight, take lots of proteins. But wait, I'm getting there. Plant proteins more, minimal animal proteins. If you're doing animal proteins, let's go for white meat. And the best time to take proteins is usually in the morning or lunchtime. Don't take too much proteins at night, but take lots of proteins in the morning and lunchtime. I hope we are clear there. The other is fats and sugars. We cannot discuss this. You already know. You know. Fats and sugars are not healthy for you, whether you're losing weight or not. Avoid it. It will cause your body to become carcinogenic, which causes many diseases. And this is how we are usually eating. Let's see, this is how we are eating nowadays, right? We take so much cereals and starch, you know, the Weetabix we keep buying for our children, the cornflakes, you know, the burgers they keep eating, the fries you keep going to eat on Sundays because, you know, it's the day, that's the free day. So many junk, the sodas that we've stacked in our house for guests, which is you're the guest technically, the juices we've bought for the guest, which is you're the guest. So many junk foods we've put saying it's for guests and guests while we are the guests. And I can't even begin to talk about this pyramid because this is how we eat. Most of us are here, we do not eat fruits and vegetables. We're taking so much milk and dairy products, everything. There are people who take milk from morning to evening. Breakfast, tea. Lunchtime, they have to have something that has dairy products. So please avoid this. Let's not be there. Why? This is what happens to your body if you eat that way. You start having complications which are not even causing. You don't have to be fat to have these complications, I can tell you. You don't have to be overweight. You can be slim, you can be normal. But this is something you need to avoid, because these are the complications you get. And I tell people, what you eat right now we are talking, will affect you in the next 5 to 10 years. It's a very serious matter. I want us to see how serious this is. So there's a point we are missing. There's that blank place you are missing. It's not easy for us to go from this side to this side. I'll tell you, I've tried. And I'm telling you, I'm still trying. I'm still trying. And I'm not saying I'm any better, but I thank God I know that this is the right way of eating. I'm not ignorant about it. I'm aware. So be aware that the way the pyramid is, that's the way of eating. But we all know it's not easy. So many complications out here. First of all, the costs of buying fruits and vegetables is expensive nowadays. We have also that the things that we are taking are GMO made. So many apples, so many skumas, not any GMO, they're lacking all the nutrients we need. And there's that gap we need to fill. And I tell people, white people eat badly, but they supplement because they know they need to supplement so that they can get the nutrients that are not in the foods that you are eating, because the foods we are eating have a lot of chemicals, pesticides, and GMO. Supplementation is important, and I thank God that my mom introduced me to this opportunity. Even before I became a member, she put me through the products and she's been giving me supplements. And I want you to understand why it's quite important for you to start with ProVitality if you want to lose weight or add weight. Why? Because ProVitality deals with the cell. It starts with the cell. I tell people we are made of one cell. You and your mom's cell and your dad's cell, they combined together and they made one common cell. The cell multiplied and multiplied and multiplied, and eventually we all know the formula. It's an embryo. I don't know if it starts with a zygote or an embryo, fetus, then the baby is born. We know that cycle. That is 73 trillion cells in your system. And ProVitality deals with cells. It goes from cell to cell. I don't know if you remember your biology, but cells mutate. And if your cells are unhealthy, they mutate. And when they keep mutating, that's how diseases, that's how you find someone starts getting cancer or diabetes or like things like high blood pressure. It's the mutation of cells regarding the issue that you have in your body. So ProVitality deals with that because you have threonine that feeds the cell membrane. Carotenoid goes to the cell to protect the cell against the diseases. Omega-3 will balance and regulate the cells. This gives the cell enough proteins that it needs. We all know that omega-3 has the 8 families. I want you to look into it. It has a salmon fish, which is quite important for your cell. And finally, it nourishes the cell. It gives your body vitamins and minerals that are needed to give nutrients to your cell. And finally, the other product we have for someone who wants to lose weight, Your Life Shake. Beautiful product, wonderful, quite tasty, I can tell you. Comes in 3 flavors: strawberry, rich chocolate, and vanilla. So you get to enjoy it at any flavor that pleasures you. And the best thing about this thing is that it has lots of fibers. It also has 22 amino acids. We all know that our body cannot manufacture 9 essential amino acids, and so the NutriShake provides Your Life Shake provides for you the 22 amino acids, and those we cannot manufacture. It also has GR2. GR2 helps to control the insulin in your body. I want you to understand that insulin resistance is one of the biggest issues with people, especially when they're trying to lose weight. Last week, we were talking about diabetes, and those of you who are here, I mentioned about insulin resistance. And I said, if your body is having insulin resistance, it means that it's a cycle. You eat, the body tries to convert it into glucose. It does, but it cannot be absorbed in the blood. So what happens? It is stored as fat. So when it's stored as fat, there's no energy. When it's being absorbed in the body, it's going to be used as energy. But when the body does not absorb the glucose that we've consumed in our body, it is converted to fat. And when it's converted to fat, it makes you hungry. because you feel like you don't have energy. So you get hungry, then you eat again. So it's a cycle. Insulin resistance is a cycle. And Near Life Shake is good because it will regulate that for your system and at the same time help you lose weight. The benefit about this is you can replace a meal with it. And I like to tell people, try to take it for supper. Why? Because breakfast is the best time for you to fill your body with so much nutrients, or lunchtime. But it's up to you. You can decide to skip one meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or supper. We have fiber tablets. I love these tablets. I'm telling you, I consume these tablets when the days I wake up and I am hungry. Like I eat I eat a lot of food. I don't know if anyone understands me. There are days, that weeks I'm eating and eating. I even wonder if it's still me. So I like the fiber tablets. Why? When I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling that I'm very hungry, of late I've been eating a lot, I usually take the fiber tablets. And if you're consistent about it, I can tell you this will help you lose weight. And because it will, like I said, it also balances your sugar levels, insulin resistance, what I was just talking about. It also helps you in the constipation process. If you're having issues excreting waste, it will help you with that. Fiber also gives you a sense of fullness in your stomach. So when you take your fiber tablets with 2 glasses of water in the morning, you go give it about 15 minutes before you consume breakfast. At the end of the day, you find yourself not eating too much food. You're just eating the required amount of food. So you end up eating what is enough, but not too much, which is good for me because it regulates for me my eating. Sometimes I can really eat. So we also have Near Life Tea. Near Life Tea is so good for giving you energies. Those as people, different people have different types of occupations, and Near Life Tea will give you the energy throughout the day. You take it as a cup as a cup of tea, gives you energy, and at the same time helps you lose weight. I tell people your weight is lost when you're resting. When you're not working out and when you're not eating, that's when your weight is being burnt. And even at night your weight is being burnt a lot. So you can even decide to have your New Life Tea before you go to sleep, 1 hour before you sleep, so that it can increase the metabolism for burning fat. And finally, Amitum is such a good product. I can tell you, good, so good for people who want to tone their bodies, also lose weight. And I know that I won't be able to talk about these products, all of them in full, but I want you to talk to the person who invited you. They'll explain it to you better. NutriShake is so good for someone who wants to add weight. I trust you. I took this when I was a child. Very good for children. Why? It helps them grow faster and grow to be energetic. So if you're having issues with adding weight, NutriShake is good for you. Just talk to the person who invited you and tell them to give you a regimen for weight gain or weight loss, depending on which works with you. And you can also take Formula 4 Plus. Formula 4 Plus is almost like TNN, but a little bit more powerful than that. And it's quite a good product. I can tell you, works on the cells, in the nitty-gritties of the cells. So if you're having issues, I can tell you, just talk to the person who invited you. And the testimonies are so many, as you can see there. These products have been there for so many years. People keep losing weight. People keep giving their testimonies. If you just stick to a regimen that you've been given by the person who invited you, I assure you that you will become like these people. And please invest in your health. It's funny how people usually say things are expensive out here, yet we buy cars, yet we are buying houses, and we're not even investing in our health. Your health is more important than all of this. So talk to the person who invited you. And this is not the end. I want you to hear. I want you to listen to someone who's done this before. She's going to tell us what she's done, and she's actually helping other people to do it, which is quite exciting. She's a teacher, and also she was a student, but now she's become a teacher. So I want to invite, sorry, give me a minute. I want to invite Prudence, I don't know if I'm saying this name well, Prudence Nduhura to talk to us. She's from Uganda and she's going to tell us her story, and I'm sure she'll give us more pointers about what she's done. Prudence, karibu sana.
Thank you, Raha. Noise, Ashley. Thank you, everybody. Evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. Am I heard? Somebody tell me.
Yes.
I'm audible. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for that presentation. I'll share my story with you. My name is Prudence Induhura. I'm married with two beautiful girls. One is the age of 6 and another one is the age of 4. And I want to share my success story. It's not far from Rahab's story, but what I can say is that mine came after giving birth to my second daughter. And after giving birth, I weighed about 92 kilograms. And I tried doing exercises. I went on several diets and reduced to about 87 kilos, then went on exercises again. And the best I could go down to was 85 kilos. And I got stuck there. I remember that's the time I said, I think I'll never reduce weight. And many friends of mine told me that that is where you're going to stick and forget about losing weight. But personally, within me, I did not lose hope. I knew I could get back my weight on my wedding day. I just had that dream and I knew something good would happen. So the time I was between 85 to 92 kilos, I remember I had a difficulty in putting on clothes. I used to put on only 2 dresses and alternate them throughout the week, throughout the month. And I remember my husband asking me, are those the only dresses that you have? There was one particular dress, it was purple. And he had seen me put it on for a very long time. It really bothered him a lot. And one other thing also I never used to do was take photos because I always knew I looked ugly. So my self-esteem was low. I had very little confidence. And on top of all that, I struggled with some health challenges. I had back pain. I had poor bowel movement. And I also had difficulty in breathing. So that is when I knew now I need to take a step and lose my weight. Now, in that same year, when I was planning to lose my weight, my mom got diagnosed with terminal cancer. That was in 2016. And she slept in the same year. So I remember reading through her journals in 2017, and all she struggled with was weight. So I realized that the excess weight that she had produced tumors, which resulted into cancer. Now, that was a wake-up call for me, and I needed to do something about my weight, and I needed to take my physical health a priority.
You've muted yourself, Prudence.
No. Oh, okay. Is it on?
Yes.
Sorry about that. So I will get back a little. So I never used to take photos. My self-esteem was low and had very little confidence. I also struggled with some health challenges. I had back pain. I had difficulty in breathing and a poor bowel movement. So I told myself that something had to be done about it. Now, in that same year, my mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. I slept the same year. So 17, I read through her journals. All she struggled with was weight. And I remember when I read through the excess weight, the excess fat produced tumors, which resulted into cancer. Now, this was a wake-up call for me, and I needed to make my physical health a priority. So at that time, what she was going through wasn't her choice, but what I was doing to myself was my choice. I was not eating right. I was not exercising. My lifestyle was not in the proper triangle like Rahab has shown us. So my focus at that time became on a lifestyle change. my healthy eating habits changed. I started exercising more often at home. I started drinking more water. I started taking fruits and vegetables. And I remember something that jump-started my weight loss journey at that time was Neo Life Shake and Pro-Vitality. I used to take the Pro-Vitality every breakfast with food, and I used to have my Neo Life Shake for dinner. And what I did, I cut out all the junk food and I replaced it with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. Throughout the day, I would have a snack, an apple. My snacks would be either apple or grapes or oranges, depending on your life, but they were always vegetables or fruits. Now, when I continued doing that, it was consistent. That is now the pain of discipline. The moment you get the pain of discipline, you get all the results that you want. Now, within 7 months, I was able to lose to 22 kilograms. And that was because I began my journey in August 2018. I remember so well. I made that sharp decision and said, no, something has to be done. And I was very determined. And my goal was to lose up to about 75, but I managed to go down to 73 kilos. And ever since 2018 December, I've been able to maintain the diet, the Life Shake and the Pro-Vitality, and also the system getting used to a new norm, a new lifestyle change. And one of the things that pushed me, I remember, was I looked at my children and I said, now, my children, will I be able to see their graduation day while I'm okay, or while I'm not sick, or while I'm energetic? Will I be able to see their wedding? Will I be able to see their children in shape? So I purposed and said, no, let this be my driving force. Let me go and change the way I eat for the benefit of my children, for the benefit of myself, to stay healthy. And I have received much results. When you see my picture before, I looked much older. And right now, if you guessed my age, all of you on the call, you would all get it wrong because I look much younger than my age. I think Lydia and Gladys are a testimony to that. So the products work. And one thing I can also leave with you is that the Neo Life program is a rich program that has the whole food and it's balanced. So the body will have everything that it needs on a daily basis. Now, this is a company that has been in existence for 63 years. So just imagine it giving you one of the products that has over 25 vitamins and minerals on a daily basis while you lose the weight. So the body and the organs in the body will not complain at all. And you will slim with so much beauty, and you will be energetic and you will look beautiful. So that's for you. And my wish is for you to have an amazing success story, and you will feel good and you'll feel all that you have. And lastly, I remember when I reduced my 6-year-old, by then she was 5-year-old. I remember I put on a blue dress because I was very excited going to church. And the day she first saw me after I had lost weight, that was after 3 months, she said, "Mommy, you look like a princess." So 5-year-old could look at the dramatic change that happened to her mother. How about the person in your home and in your house, or me out there? So you can have an amazing success story and change lives. If you don't want to do it for yourself, at least do it who depend on you and who want to see you well. Thank you. That was my humble story. I hope you have a good time while on the program. It is the best program the world can ever give. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prudence. That's a good testimony. And I'd like to just tell everyone here, you can do this if you just start with a decision. Prudence herself said she made a decision and she decided she's going to make a difference for herself and also for her children. So I don't have much to say. Just talk to the person who invited you, and we can all decide. You can decide with the person who invited you. You decide, I want to start a challenge. I'd like we begin a challenge. You can form a group and you can begin challenging each other every day and giving each other motivation so that you can, get where you want to be. So without much, I'd like to wish you a wonderful night and a blessed day tomorrow. And if it's you who wants to lose weight, make that decision right now. Thank you so much.